Hello and welcome to this playthrough of Factorio, where I am building a megabase on Earth. I am using a mod, Cities of Earth, focusing on the Old World Hemisphere. My goal is to reach 10,000 science per minute with a rail-based design. The resources are set to maximum size and density, and biters and pollution are turned off. Mod list is shown in the description, as well as a link to my Twitch channel, High Speed. Please come visit me there. Questions and comments are welcome. Thank you for watching. So I'm going to steal the water from out here, pass it through there, which is very sus. Which is also very sus because I'm skipping this gap. Faceless. So you're going to get your input from here and your water from there, and you're going to output petrol gas here. That's where you should be. That's as close as you're going to be able to get. So we'll do that. But that means that plastic is going to get its feeds like this. Which, to say the least, is weird. I mean, I don't like hiding things like this. I like to make them obvious where they're going and where they're coming from. But there's something really seductive about this, putting this intermediate petrol gas right here. But it does mean that I don't have a petrol storage tank. Once I do that, not a fan of that either. Just, for the record. I will do this with this petrol. Excuse me. Nah. I'm going to leave that petrol tank up there. It's not in line. And I think that's okay. But it's going to get me good power lines. Jesus, look at this garbage. Nice. Much better. Now, by making batteries double long instead of double wide, I've reduced the number of feed belts, but I've increased the length of this thing by a good chunk. Not really necessary. But if I was to add that back in, I mean, this is what batteries used to look like, right? Where were batteries? If I were to have kept this, it would have increased it by half of this. So I would have this up here, which isn't really a big deal. And then for this, I think I'm going to move these. How are you reaching that far? It's really tempting to put both of the copper cables at the bottom, but I can't. Or to put both copper cables in the middle, or to put both copper cables on the outside. But this is more of a copy-paste design, and I like that more. Yep. Assuming I leave it on those alignment points, right? Because I can always pull it in. I think that's all of them. It's really tempting to pull three of these batteries. It's really tempting to pull these into here. Have all of this fold back in and have it all pass through. I mean, we're doing some custom stuff already, so if I take these and I do that, now, the reason I would do it that way is because this would align with that. Okay, so that's valid. Now we're feeding this in here. Still valid. Now I could put this right in the middle like that, but it's unlikely I'll do that. What's more likely is that I'll do this. That doesn't work at all. I've already decided this isn't going to stay this way, so might as well delete all that. Oh yeah, I was redoing this. What's a 2-to-2 balancer look like? Kind of a lengthy thing. Not really room for it here. So does one of you have to... Yeah, you do not fit here. Pretty much no matter what I do, you do not fit here. Unless I break it. So what's actually going on here, if I wanted to make this differently so that it would fit here, but not fit here, because it is 3 tall at the end of the day. So that's valid, but I didn't leave myself enough space. So what's going on here is that we are half belting this. So we could do that by going, because it's being fed from this. So if we turn this, so you're getting half a belt. And that looks weird as heck. Yes, it does. Not quite good enough, but it's close. If I was to push it higher and then put another splitter, right? So what we know is that this needs to go into a splitter that merges with this. So we can run this a little bit higher. That's a valid design. Don't like it, but it's a valid design. But in this space that I have here, to get a good 3-to-2 balancer is going to be nearly impossible. If I back that off, I'm going to be looking at something like that. Another one is to try and just maximize it to the top. All right, doesn't work either. Do I have more space up there? That's my top gap. I could also do it this way. Now, because I've extended this distance significantly, I'm going to get unbalanced anyways. So I think what I'm going to do here is just this. Given all the contortions I would have to do and the optimization I would get, which is pretty much none, just going to do this. Call it a day. So, if I insert this in here, I will reduce the outsize of that. It's going to be somewhere closer. Good, 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 good. If this could be pulled in further, I might do that. I might bring these in here and then just have that one underbelt. It looks like that's what I'm going to do. Well, why even bring it out that far? I can't do it here. Well, thank you. Kitty cat woke up. She's sitting on the couch looking at the floor like she just woke up. And you know what that look looks like. That sort of just blind stare into nothingness look. And I grabbed a belt that I don't want to grab. Good. I do have a beautiful cat, though. So that's kind of weird, but it makes for an interesting, more compact design. Gives me flexibility, right? Because I don't know for certain that I need that much space, but let's try and wire it up. All right. We know from past experiences that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plus an extra 1, 2 copper there. 2 steel that we had already decided didn't need to be their own belt. So we can't do anything special there. Not at all happy about that. I don't think this thing cares which way those go. It's 15 circuits, so I really want to keep the circuits on the outside edge like that. How much copper? Point. Why do you still have yellow belt? I put it on blue. It's 0.1 copper and 0.1 steel. So it doesn't need a dedicated belt for any of these three. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the 1 for the satellite. And I think what I decided is that I would just peel off 1 for each. Now, if that were copper, copper's coming from way up there. I did that here too. Okay. But now I've changed my steel requirements. So now I gotta wire this up. Obviously, the piping is pretty straightforward. I'm not worried about that. And then there's the electricity. So let me take this and move it out temporarily. So I got everything, right? Except for the satellite. I still got to do the satellite. Green circuits, solar panels, satellites, and gears. Blue circuits, red circuits, accumulators, batteries, low density structures, acid, sulfur, solid rocket fuel, solid fuel, plastic, red to yellow crack, yellow to petrocrack limited, oil. Oil. I think that's it. I'm looking at the Kirk's for make sure I've got everything covered. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to temporarily take this out, and then I'm going to put a superstructure in of power poles and roboports everywhere. And then I will back them off as they collide. And part of the question is where do I actually need these things? Because I'm not doing Logi anymore. Not much. So I don't need um I don't need a ton of Logi roboports. Looking at this, I'm wondering if moving red circuits over here and moving that up, because I got no problem pushing this farther over. I got more space to do that. I don't want to put red circuits on the far side, but red circuits do take plastic. And if I were to put them in here, that was off by one. Now that is feeding red circuits in the back, and I would have to change it to feed red circuits in the front, but that's not really a big deal. So I would take red circuits and have them come out and go there. To be honest, I really don't like that. Now, if I start with this, and I put these green circuits, well, clearly I can't do that. And I put these green circuits as far over as I can so that I can have bus room. I definitely want to shift it over one so that I'm not right on that. It's not a great alignment, but I don't have any other reason to do an alignment like that. I don't think of this as being a monolithic thing, though. But I'm going to try and put it in there. Oh, hi, kitty cat. If I were to line this up with that, it would be too high. Thanks, cat. Okay, so there's my vertical positioning. And part of my horizontal positioning is going to be how much room do I need for a bus. But I'm also looking at where am I going to get my robo ports, right? And I'm looking at that gap behind the plastic that's to the north a little bit. I don't care much about power poles. But robo ports, yeah, that's important. So I'm looking at where are there places that I'm going to be able to have a roboport. Like look at this alignment right there. I don't need the roboport to the top, but that one in the middle is very good. And then I've got those two holes there. So if I get rid of all these, and then I try it again, and I'm looking at that roboport right there to see where are my opportunities for blending into that and including that in my design. All right, so right there, I've got some good. Get rid of this, get rid of this. Can't go higher. I could go lower. Now, if I put it here, I'm snug up against that. I don't have good lines here. In order to get good lines out, let's go 1, 2 higher. And I could go 2 higher, but I would collide with this power pole. Do I care about that? Because power poles don't matter very much. Because if I do that, then I have a nice line there. Not that it even matters, right? But you're going to get power from there. You've actually got a full-size power pole there. Now I've got coverage here that will let me build all of this. And I've got coverage here that will barely let me build all of that. This will not let me build everything, so I need a roboport. Hi, kitty. BRB. All right, back to this design. So if this is here, then I'll get full build. Are you connected to this, though? You're going to that edge. You can reach to here. Ooh, covers by 1. Nice. So moving this down, do I still have coverage here to build all this? Yeah, well, I don't know. Will I build? I mean, it's move up 1. If I move that up 1, damn it. There you go. Now we're guaranteed to get all that covered. These are all inputs, output. Well, I've decided to move all this too, so this all goes away. Lycum doesn't have chests. Which train has chests? King the Nerb. What did I do? Break the rails? Yeah, I did. All right. We'll also continue tearing this out. Don't want those there. Looks like we're having a few more connection issues. That sucks. But I'll continue on. So I think that's our lineup. Now we just need to recreate all of this. I had decided on only one steel, but I don't have a lot of steel usage anyways. So here's one steel. 2, 3, 4. And then those two are 5 and 6. So I could go just 4 to 6. Because what do I care? I could split these because they don't use that much steel. They're each using about a third of a belt of steel. But also I had changed plastics so you don't even... Where is plastic now? Oh, plastic is now a 3 feed. And as I recall, 4 to 3s are shit. Well, doesn't fit here, that's for sure. And for all I'm trying to do, this is probably good enough. But the alternative is to run all 4 of them out here. And then stick this on there. Which I have to say isn't all that terrible as an idea. So here's